No. What's your type?
My type, it's not really so much. Like I don't discriminate.
Okay.
I don't play in the snow. Like, I don't not like white girls, but I wouldn't.
So you have a type?
I wouldn't date white girls.
So that's your preference?
I talk to a white girl like we cool, but I wouldn't date a white girl. Black Lives Matter and shit like that. But
Okay.
yeah, I feel like
I just told you I was white earlier.
yeah.
So you do play in the snow?
You're not white.
No, I'm fully white.
What you mean? No, what? Rewind that. What you mean I do play in the snow? Nah, for real though.
I'm just joking, y'all. What happened? That's it.
Oh, I never dealt with a white woman before, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good answer. Good answer.
Like I don't even approach white women. I feel like I don't even know how to talk to them because I feel like they don't know how to. They wouldn't understand me personally. Like they wouldn't understand like what I go through as a black man. And it's what can we relate about? So I don't even approach white women. Like if I see a nice looking white woman or something, I'd be like, oh yeah, she's pretty. But other than that, I'm not going up there like trying to know your name, none of that, because it's not about to go nowhere.
I don't think I could marry like a white woman. Like I don't think so. Maybe,
Why
but
is
I don't
that?
think so because I need someone racist like me. Like I need somebody racist like me. Really?
So you don't
like,
care about love? You don't?
No, I mean if I love her and like it's like then I'm like man she's the one. I found it. But like in general, I need somebody to see the world. The way I need to come home and be like, yo, like
you need somebody
because a white woman in general is not gonna see that. She's.
Would you ever date a white girl?
No. And my reason is, like, you know how you have the instinct on certain things that feel right and certain things that don't feel right?
Yeah.
That morally doesn't feel right to me. Like when I see somebody that isn't of my own race, if they're not black, Latino, Native American Indian, or Hispanic, I don't get the connection. I don't get the spark. I don't get all that. I just feel morally wrong actually doing so.
That's a good answer.
Do you use a washcloth?
No, me either.
I think
disgusting.
Am I scrubbing my body with a washcloth?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I know. I think we're.
That is like a UTI waiting to happen.
I think we're in the minority. I really do. No, I think we are.
People use washcloths?
I think so.
Like for their body?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, what are you washing your butt with?
My hand. I mean, like, what? I would never. I would never.
I'm crying.
Would never do that. I'd burn the wash.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, alright? I like white women, but I'm getting to a point where I'm fed up, okay? Alright? You are 27 years old, ma'am. I should not teach you how to season food properly. Like, you've been 32 years of life. You've been walking past the season and spice aisle and not realizing you use these? Like, I'm done with you white women. Latinas, holla at me. I know how to bachata. Black women, y'all, I want you to do my locks. Asian, Indian, anything but. Like, I'm getting tired of plain unseasoned food. Salt and pepper should not be spicy, baby. Salt and pepper is not a spice.
As a black man,
Copy.
Are there any rules and regulations when it's dating a white woman?
You don't? No, I'm playing. No, I'm playing. Like, I mean, I like white bitches, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man.
I would say, like, if you have to get even remotely aggressive in your tone when dealing with a white woman, like, just walk away.
Yeah.
Because there's no telling where she's going to take it at all.
And that'd be the white woman tear shit, though. Like, that shit is dangerous. Like you said.
You're playing with fire.
For sure. Once you're dealing with a white woman, or I say any other race, but especially white women, once there's trouble in paradise, keep it pushing. Like, don't argue it out. Don't be fighting it out like you would your black joint. Like, the consequences could be dire. Because she could really, it's mad shit she could pull off and get away with.
And then their mindset, they might start tapping into like prejudice tropes about black men. You know what I'm saying?
All types of shit.
in the split second that you guys are going through your argument
All
or your
types of
fight.
shit. It's so easy to paint you as an angry black man. It's bad easy. You feel me?
So then, you know what I mean? And she might act on that. So it's never really worth it.
Today, we are reacting to why some black men say they are scared or uninterested in dating outside their race, and in particular, dating the white women. However, it's not about hating anyone or self-hate. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bernadette. I react to TikTok clips and then break down what people are really saying beneath the surface. And today's topic is very sensitive but necessary. So we are going to watch these clips together, understand. Some are funny, entertaining, and maybe something to learn from. So without wasting much time, buckle up, hit that like button, and let's get started.
I know. Everybody wants to know why I don't date white women. And to answer this question, I just like to start yelling off names. Emmett Till, Jonathan Majors, Shannon Sharp. Y'all know as well as I know that list could go on forever. I like to deal with crazy that I'm familiar with. If it's a woman, you want to deal with some bullshit anyway. I just want to deal with the bullshit I got history with. I know what Keisha gonna do. That white woman, you don't never know. You want to meet my parents? Why? Because I seen the movie Get Out. But no bullshit, my history with white people runs a lot deeper than that. I grew up in the South. They done vandalized my house before. Death or date a white person?
Alright, I cannot click with white girls at all. I don't know what it is, but I just recently got back from a white girl date. You know, I took her out, paid for everything, you know. Date was cool. Date was amazing. But at the same time, I was just thinking too much in my head. I'm like, I cannot click with a white girl. I don't know why it is, but I feel like every single time I start talking or chatting with them, I start treating them like a customer. I don't know why. Like, I use a whole different voice, a whole different side of me to talk to them. Makes no sense. But when I speak with, I don't know, like a Hispanic girl, it's just like, it's easy. It's just because, you know, that's just what I grew up around. So it's just easy to connect, click. But then when it comes with a white girl, it's like, bro, it's just so damn hard. I've never clicked with a white girl ever in my life. Although they are beautiful, right? Every girl is beautiful on this planet. Let me just get that out of the way. But I could just never click with them. You know what I mean? It's like so damn hard to do that. I don't know why, bro.
I say my only issue I have if I ever dated a white girl like that, for real, is that I can't live in no code switch, fam. Like, you already go to work. Good morning. How's everyone? Then you got to come home and still be that? Bro, you got to live in a code switch? I can't do no shit like that. Like, if I date a white girl, she got to understand, like, man, this is how I am. This is how I talk, man. Like, hey, make sure the motherfucking dishes done. Like, I told you, I'm going to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, if I can't talk like that without you feeling some type of way, shit ain't going to work, bro. That shit ain't gonna work, man. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna live my life in a code switch. Hey, babe, how are you? How was work? Oh, that's so awesome. That was great to hear. I hope that they give you that promotion. You know, who wants to go get pizza? Oh, my, bro, imagine living like that for the rest of your life, fam. Fuck no, man. I like to curse. I like to talk a little shit sometimes. I like to throw a little jokes, you know what I'm saying? Make fun of you a little bit, shit like that. And I like to talk a little, you know, I love being black, man. So if I got to switch that up, shit ain't gonna work, bro. So I feel like that's my only thing, bro. I can't live in no code switch, bro. I cannot live in no fucking code switch. Hell, fuck no, boy. That's some slave shit there, boy. When I be seeing niggas living through that shit, talking all uppity and shit and shirt and tie everywhere they go and pinky up when they drink it. Oh, Lord, they done got another one. Damn, I feel bad for that brother over there. Yeah, I can't do it, man. No can do. Not me.
Scariest thing ever to deal with as a black man is a white woman's tears, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. I was at this girl's house. We do what we do, right? It's cool. We was watching some Love Island, whatnot. By the time it's late as hell and we get done doing whatever we do, there's been spurts of it, there's been sessions, there's been rounds, right, at this point. It's late as hell. It's like 4 a.m. I don't ever sleep at a bitch house. Bro, I'm about to dip. She's getting tired, like, you know, I'm gonna just head out for sure, right? I'm gonna text you. Bro, she just get quiet as hell. She just get quiet as shit. I'm like, yo, are you okay? Like, are you good? And she was like, you're leaving? You're gonna leave? I was like, yeah, I am. And she says, oh, okay. And then I just see a tear run down her face, bro. And normally I wouldn't care. I would just dip out, right? I would just dip out from this point. I couldn't this time, bro. I was scared as shit, bro. I say, all right, you know what? I'll stay the night. But as I'm sleeping with one eye open, gang. I'm scared for my life. And at this point, before I even went to bed with her, bro, I go to her bathroom, her big ass bathroom. I text my pops. I'm like, gang, I'm sleeping at a white woman's house right now, a rich white woman's house. Here's my location. Everything that's been done so far has always been consensual. So in case shit go down, bro, I need you gonna be a witness regardless. You gonna have to come in. I'm sharing this location. They ain't no, you know, it's like, I was scared, bro. Like, I don't know what she had going on mentally. She was just crying. She got silent. Maybe she used that shit to try to manipulate me. Maybe she had some genuine feelings, but my heart was racing. I was scared to death. Bro. I had to text my pops. I texted my Discord. My Discord was there for this. I was like, yo, for anybody who's seeing this right now, this time of events, if I got to pull this up at some point, it's printed. There's a receipt for this. All right? I was scared to death, bro. It was dead ass like 4 or 5 a.m. We were just sleeping next to each other. She was doing most of the sleep, and I had my eye open for the most part. I had to work the next day, gang. I came in tired as hell. Bro, I'm looking, like, imagine I'm sleeping, I just got one eye open. I'm like this, just in case. Because I got to know everything that's happening. I got to be able to tell this story. Just, you know what I mean? It was bad. I was scared for my life. It was a bad experience. It was cool all the way up until that point. I woke up late. I was tired. I had to work. That next day, it wasn't a fun time. You got to be careful out here.
So I no longer date interracially at all. And that goes from the fetishization, like that BBC crap is, ugh. And then you got the microaggressions, the bias, not understanding culture. It's just not being able to relate. It goes even from like the small things of me trying to make either a cultural joke or sharing a meme that's hilarious, part of black culture, but then not understanding it. Like one of my white partners, she wanted us to go meet her aunt and uncle for the first time, and we're going to go to a restaurant. And so she texted me saying, hey baby, I booked us to eat at the soup plantation. And I texted her back. I said, oh, I'm sorry, babe. I don't go to places with the word plantation in it. And she texted back, what? Why not? Do you not like the food? I just had to be like, never mind, we can go. So trying to make a cutesy, like little funny joke, but just whoo, the moment died before it could live. And then even like the bigger cultural differences of if something like police brutality happens or something tragic for black people, it ends up having to be a conversation and me explaining why I'm triggered and traumatized. And that's just on top of me already being in a emotional state. Now I gotta explain, and them still not really getting it. Someone in the comments commented saying, oh, why do they cry all the time? Or, yeah, why do they cry all the time? Is that three things, I say. The first one is that you're mentioning what's ever happened to you, something biased or racist that happened, and they either don't want to talk about it or they'll get defensive and not understand because you've now called out a bias, an action, a thought that they themselves carry. And so should they accept and process what you have told them about, they then need to admit and acknowledge that they carry those same biases. And what does that do to their ego? That also is the second part of you saying a bias or a microaggression or an act of racism that ends up relating to one of their family members. And so again, should they accept, process, and acknowledge that, they now have to see their family members as people who contribute to racism. And so that ends up hitting home because they've known them longer than they've known you. And the third one is that for white people who truly are very sensitive and loving, that hearing this makes them cry because they can't believe it. It's so hurtful. And it's like, do you cry like this all the time?
So let me say this real quick, right? This is the funniest breakup I've ever heard in my life. My homeboy, who's a Nigerian, is dating a white girl. They just broke up 2 days ago. So I was just laughing. I don't mean to laugh. It's not a good thing that they broke up. They've been together for 9 months. So she owned a dog as a pet. So my homeboy is not into pet, but she probably didn't know. So at the end of the day, she was trying to go to the mall to go get something. And she told my homeboy to watch over her dog, that she wanted to bring the dog over to my homeboy's house. My homeboy said, fuck no. I don't mess with dogs. I don't like cats. I don't like pets. I'm not going to watch over your dog. Guess what happened? She started crying. I don't mean to laugh, but she started crying. Why won't you watch my pets? Why won't you watch my dog? My homeboy said, I'm not into pets. And one thing I'm trying to make you guys understand, especially the Americans, a lot of African men are not into pets. We were never raised like that. And if we must have dogs back home or cats back home, they stay outside and they feed outside, they sleep outside. Dogs back home in Africa don't have a bed in the house. They don't sleep in the house. They don't eat in the house. They don't climb the kitchen counter to go lick plates. Dogs back in Africa don't stay in the same bed with the owners like most of these dogs in America. So now, if you must date an African man, please ask him if he likes pets. Because for me, I don't deal with pets. I don't deal with dogs or cats. I don't even have money to take care of myself. Talk more of taking care of a dog. I don't even have money to take care of a dog. No time to watch a dog. No time to feed a dog. No time to clothe a dog. And I'm not going to be in my bed and have a dog climb my bed or my kitchen counter. I'm not doing that. So for some of you that are trying to date African men, ask him if he likes a dog. Ask that African man if he likes a dog. Don't just assume that you love it. You love pets, then your boyfriend must love pets. He may not like pets. I'm not saying if you love pets is a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But please ask anybody that you're trying to get involved with. If you know you love pets, ask them if they love pets. Don't force it on them. So, so now my homeboy and the girlfriend, they're no more together over a pet. It's crazy though. It's crazy. I can't even afford a pet right now as I speak. I can't even take care of myself. So how am I going to take care of a pet? I don't have that money. Pets are expensive. Dogs are expensive to take care of. You have to have almost insurance. You have to feed them, buy their special food. No. Back home in Africa, dogs eat fufu. They crack goat meat. Dogs eat rice, white rice, no meat, no fish, nothing. Dogs eat eba and okra soup back home. But here in the United States, I see people feeding dogs like they're humans. But don't get me wrong, I'm not against it. But I'm just saying, make sure you ask your partner if they like pets.
Ask me, why am I afraid to talk to a white woman? Not so much of my age group, because I'm in the 30s now, but you know, it's history still hit me in the head like, bam. You know, most black people, it is locked up because of white women. I'm talking about with rape and stuff that they didn't do just because they got caught by their parents. Like, oh, you raped me, you attacked me. Hey, what you think? She don't want to disappoint her goddamn parents. She don't. Versus a lot of whites are fighting for the blacks. You know, it's just like we going against, especially the older ones don't give a damn what their parents think. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They know they have racist people in their family. They can't sit here and act like, okay, it's gonna be smooth sailing. It's always in my head like, damn, what if I say hey to this girl or approach this girl and try to talk to her and she freak out? Oh, get away from me! You know how much? Do you know I'm That is crazy. That's the thought I get in my head. Like if I go talk to this girl, I'm talking about, I'm looking for the white one. I could tell the one that deal with the brothers, the blacks or whatever, they hip, they cool. You could tell, you know what I'm saying? They gonna kick it with you. But the ones that that I want to feel like brand new, they might freak out. The one that still cuts their purse and grab their purse, don't have no idea how black people is. We the most forgiving. You know what I'm saying? We the most helpful. Y'all, come on, keep it real. We above and beyond, and we shouldn't. I'm trying to talk to a white woman and she freaking out. I'm afraid of that. I don't want to go through that. I'm not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? I don't harass people. I don't touch. I don't abuse. I don't rape. I don't force. I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? So for me to even think about, okay, this might be a situation where it can happen, I don't want that. The world has changed. A lot of realization is coming to play. Social media is putting and shedding lights on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I am proud. I am glad for that. I love all races. You know what I'm saying? This was just really an experiment. I never been with a white woman. Facts. Like in a relationship, and I never did that. But I love all people. All races coming together. I sell food. I sell it because I want to bring everybody together. Food bring everybody together. You may not like me in real life. Outside of this dinner, you may not like me, but you know what? You're going to come to me because I got the best. I serve you. I'm going to bring you around other black people, Asian people, Spanish people, white people, and y'all going to all share the same enjoyment. That's the power of food. Good food. That's what I do, I bring people together.
Dating white women or being, sexually active with white women, it scarred me for life. And it's not like I got this personal vendetta, what I'm saying? I love, all colors and creeds of people. But specifically dating white women, it scarred me when I was in college and it ruined my whole experience. So let me tell you what happened. My sophomore year of college, I was in a school called Marietta. It's in Marietta, Ohio. If you know, you know. It's right by the West Virginia border. And we went out to this club one night and I met this woman. Cool, sweet. We hit it off instantly. That same night, we got active. You know what I'm saying? We got active. And then from then on, we was active with each other sexually for like 3 or 4 months. It was cool. I see her in the club again a couple months later, and she has a group of friends with her. So she introduces me to one of her friends.
Bust her down too, probably.
Beautiful woman. Nice, short, petite, white woman. She was cool. You know what I'm saying? She had the vibes and all that. So she told me, she heard a lot about me. Whoop, whoop. So we went to the out to the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a little area where they be out there smoking and chilling. But there was nobody out there because, it was cold. Instantly dropped to her knees and got the, chewing. You know what I'm saying? She got active. It was real crazy. I wasn't expecting it. I almost didn't, I didn't know what to do. I was confused. But, she got active. So after I got done, we went back into the club, it was about to die down. So we exchanged phone numbers and I told her I would hit her up. But we stayed in contact for a couple months, we would Skype each other. That's when Skype was big. We would Skype each other, she'll send me pictures, photos, videos, very explicit and things of that nature. And, it was cool. So the next semester comes. So now it's spring semester and it's around May. I ain't talked to her in about a couple months. I ain't heard from her or nothing like that. We ain't been on Skype or nothing. She hits me randomly and tells me that, hey, I'm coming back to Ohio and my friend live in West Virginia. I'm gonna be staying with my friend, and I'm gonna be able to meet you, and we're gonna be able to hang out. So I said, okay, cool. That's a bet. She sent me a picture of her friend. She said, oh, it's my gay friend that was at the club with us. I said, oh.
Nope. Flag on the play. Too freaky. I can already see where this is going. It sounds like it's about to go in a deep demonic space. And let me say this. I believe that white women are some of the most insanely experimental. I'm going to be freaked out, some of them for the rest of their life, until they switch over and then they want to do code switching and then all of a sudden want to become a motherly person, and guys go and wife them up. The biggest chameleons I've ever seen in my entire life. Obviously, we know that this is not applicable to...
I got a little story to tell, right? One thing I will say, if I have a white girl and she give me a suggestion to date one of her friends, that shit is never happening again. All right, so there was this white girl. I was talking to. We were just friends. She had a cousin, so she said, hey, y'all should date. Go out real quick. You know, Sam, I don't have nobody to really date. Never dated anybody. So I said, hey, let's make this my first date. It was awkward as shit. They were all white, so I'm gonna tell you the story, because here it goes. Went to one of these lounges, you know, karaoke lounges, which I know my black ass do not belong up in there. Everybody had like a cowboy hat on. You just got only white up in there. I was the only black person up there. Like, I shit you not, I was looking everywhere. I was like, bro, please be at least one black person so I can say, what's up, my brother? But there wasn't. So in the back of my head, I'm like, oh shit. Then, right, her father wasn't there. But she was warning me about her father, because her mother was very nice, very chill. She wanted to see if I wanted wings or something. She was giving me food and stuff. I was really interrupted by my dogs. But anyway, after that, we started like dancing, chilling and stuff. And then her pops show up. Oh God, no. Her great old father show up, you know? And he didn't look happy. He walked in there mean mugging me. Then she had the nerve to say, oh, I forgot to tell you something. My dad is not very nice towards the black men I date. Why am I here? Just a serious question. Why invite a black dude to a date and your father gonna look at me like I need to be on the damn slave post? He literally looking at me like, this filthy N-word need to be hung up like a Christmas decoration on one of my trees. I don't know why my daughter date these niggas. So it's just like, So right, the whole time he's staring at me while I'm eating my food, and I'm just like, how you doing, sir? Look at me, look at his daughter. I'm doing all right, you. I'm like, why you gotta have an attitude, bro? I could be a good guy. And this is what's wrong with this generation. They try to stereotype us black dudes when we date your white daughters, and they think, oh, this dude need to be hung up like a Christmas tree. Instantly think, oh, he don't need to be with my daughter. Hell no, I don't need no damn mixed children. I don't need no niggas running around. So after that awkward ass conversation, right, he whispered to his daughter something, so I just let them talk. I was leaving the building. I said, hey, it's time for me to go. It was my ride home, and her pops left. She gave me a kiss and said, hey, this was one of the greatest dates I've been on. Tell me why. 2 days later, I don't exist no more. Shit, I tried to text her and stuff. She was like, oh, Sam, yeah, we had a date, but no, we don't belong to each other. We're not dating for real. Said the date was good. At least I gave you another chance after dealing with your racist dad. But I'm positive her dad said some stuff to her to let her know, go with your white boys. Don't date that nigga. They don't just switch up on you like that all of a sudden. Somebody says something to him, and she just thought, oh, hell no, I need to get back into the right going. I should say the white go. Them niggas, they dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Be careful who y'all date, guys, really.
So we have heard from them. They have shared a lot, and their reasons are, of course, different, though relatable. So from what they have shared, some of them say, like, I don't want to be explaining my blackness to someone or to some people every day. So this is one of the biggest reasons right here. A lot of black men are tired of being in relationships where they feel like maybe a history teacher, you have to be talking about your past, your history. They don't want to turn into culture translators, explaining things about your culture. You know, when you date outside your race, people really get interest in knowing so much about you and your culture. And if you're not ready to go through that daily explanations to that lady, maybe her family, maybe friends, you know, you may attract a lot of attention and people begin wanting to know more about your culture. And if you're not ready to entertain that, it will mean that you will just say, no, I will not date outside my race. Just imagine coming home from work, already maybe dealing with racism, then having to explain to your partner maybe why something felt awful, offensive, and maybe why a joke wasn't funny at all, and then why you may say, I don't see color as a problem. Lots of things that go around, especially about the black people. And that's why these black men are saying that for them, they are not ready for that hassle and, you know, or explaining so much to people who may not understand where they are coming from, to people who may not understand their feelings. Then there are those who say, of course, they get scared of their families. Say you are dating a white girl, and then you're like, but how will I meet her family? What will their reaction be when they see me? Or when she tells them who in particular she's dating, what will they say? And this one is real, although people don't talk about it enough. A lot of black men aren't just afraid of the women, but they are afraid of her parents, her extended family, then her social circle, of course, their friends. So when you think of the reaction and the atmosphere in the room and, just the feeling that you are meeting these people for the very first time, you have a lot in your mind that goes on. You're like, how will they feel about me? What will their reaction be when they see me? And given the history between black people and the white people, it just gives some people chills and they're like, no, I'm not going for that. Let me chill within my own people whom I will not have to fear doing anything or fear talking about anything freely. And because love is one thing, but hostility wrapped in politeness is another thing. For example, side eyes, backhanded compliments, silent judgments, and what if your partner doesn't defend you in case of negative reactions? Will that relationship survive? We had someone there talking about a white woman's tears. Although this is really uncomfortable, but it's honest. When white women cry, it becomes dangerous to the black man, and some black men fear the power imbalance in interracial relationships, especially when conflict happens, given the events that have been happening. Because when such things happen, like I said, historically and socially, who gets believed first? Who is seen as aggressive? Who is protected? This is what these men are trying to avoid. Anyway, this is their choice, but there are so many interracial couples where black men have married, where black men have dated white women, and they are living happily. It's based on real world consequences. It's not about hating white women, but it's about self-preservation or protection. Someone talked of being fetishized, whereby some black men have experienced being desired but not respected, liked for stereotypes, sexualized but not humanized. So dating someone who only sees you as a BBC fantasy or a trend will obviously mess with your self-worth very fast. And nobody really wants to feel like a character instead of a partner. And they have stereotypes about them. And of course, there are those who just prefer black women. Basically, what all these clips have in common is emotional safety. Some black men avoid dating white women, not because they can't love them, but because they are tired of being misunderstood, being doubted, and being minimized or undermined. While at the same time, let's be clear that many black men date and marry white women happily. And the difference is the woman is self-aware, willing to listen, and understands that love doesn't mean ignoring race. However, this conversation is not about division, it's about honesty. And if interracial dating is going to work, it requires accountability, humility, and uncomfortable conversations. And with that, I will come to the end of this video. Put your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this black man's take on not being interested or on being scared of dating white women? Thank you so much for staying with me till the end of this video. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and let's catch up in the next video.